Hi, and welcome to Designing with Casual Elegance. I am your host and designer, Susan Sage, and I took a little detour for a couple months. If you've been following the show, had a little bit of an accident, but well on my way to recovery and able to walk once again. So here I am. Today, we are going to be talking about staging, decluttering, selling your home. So I've got everything ready, and I've scheduled a realtor to come over. And she should be here anytime. Oh, doorbell.
Hi,
Come on
Susan.
in.
Great to see you.
Well, you too.
And you're just up and moving around. I love it.
I am. I can lift it pretty good, so beware.
You're doing great.
Anyway, many of you probably already know Stephanie Anderson from Entertaining with Food and Spirit, but she wears many hats. She is also a realtor. So,
Well,
look what I've done.
Oh, wow, Susan. You've really done a great job with your decorating.
You like it?
Oh, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. There's just so many great things here. Yes.
Well,
I like
I've had
it.
lots of experience.
I know, because you're a designer, and
I am.
and you know how to design, and I can see that for sure. There's a lot of design here, lots going on, and so you're a Chiefs fan.
We are Chiefs fans. You know, we were in Kansas City for 25 years.
I've heard that, yes, but we're in Bella Vista, right? Is that yes? Do you think everybody in Bella Vista? I'm sure they all love the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, I know they do. Yes. So definitely it's nice that you have your Chiefs blanket out so everybody knows. And I see you have your puppy's toys out too.
Well, you have a dog. And
Well, he's special.
absolutely, he's part of the family.
I know he
So you
is.
have to, have stuff for him. You gotta have a
Yes.
dog bowl.
Yes, because he'll need to eat, drink. That's great. And the toys are here too, just in case anybody wanted to play with your dog when they came to look at your house.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that you're kind of going through and seeing we might need to make a few changes.
Well,
but,
I'm a big Chiefs fan also.
okay, good.
And, a lot of people know I have Gibson, and
Yes.
he's precious, and so I do like to have his things out. And I love all the family photos. Is this when you guys got married?
It is.
Oh, that's just so great. I love that. I have those out too. But, maybe when we're selling, and so
Yeah.
it will be their house.
Oh.
And so when they come over, one, for protection too, do you really want everyone to see your family photos of your family and
Right.
know exactly who lives here? So that
Probably not.
right, that might be
Yeah.
one thing to think about. And then we want them, when they come, to feel like it's their house.
Okay.
And we want them to view it maybe from their point of view. So if they're a big Dallas Cowboys fan or somewhere else, not that, we know the Chiefs are fabulous.
But it might be a little offensive or...
Possibly. And although I know that you're a huge fan, does it go with everything else possibly? And wow, the greenery. This is great, but sometimes
But it keeps your air clean.
Well, I see that because it's got a little dust on it.
Oh.
So, it does, but it's gathered the dust too. So, as I'm sitting here, I love all these pillows that you have. So,
Well, they make it really comfortable, don't they?
It is, and the greenery really just makes me feel like I'm outside. So, yeah, I think it's really nice, but I wonder if there's just a few changes maybe we could make.
Maybe a few, but I need pillows because I'm not very tall. So when I sit down, my feet don't touch the ground.
True.
And,
I totally get
so
that.
I need to have...
Yes.
And you do when
something.
you're home, but maybe when people are coming to look at your house, they might just want to see where the chair would be or get a feel, and maybe they're not even going to sit on your furniture.
Oh, and do you think maybe if we declutter a little bit, it may look more spacious?
I think so. I really do. And I do like your window treatment. I like how your valance goes up to the top and not, but sometimes less is more when it comes to opening up the space.
Okay.
So maybe I do love it. I love your style, and I think everything is really nice. I can see that you have vacuumed the floor, and it just looks and smells really great, but I can tell that your puppy's here. So maybe just for those people that want to picture this as their home and not your home, maybe we could just change a few little things.
Okay.
What do you
think? I am open to that.
Okay.
And, it's kind of being a designer, that's a little touchy subject, just a little bit.
I know.
But I'll share a story with you.
Okay.
When we were getting ready to put our house on the market in Kansas City, realtor did come in, and she did eliminate a few things. Fortunately, we were going out of town for a couple weeks, so she could show the house, and,
Right.
I
And it
wouldn't
worked
have
out.
to. It did work out just fine. It sold the first day with 3 showings, so I guess you have a point.
Well, I feel like, when we're showing homes, it's a beautiful home. Obviously, people are looking at it for a reason because they liked it. But let's talk when we come back to maybe about curb appeal when they first pull up, and then when they first walk in, of maybe some do's and don'ts. And maybe rearrange a little bit just to give some tips maybe to our audience of what maybe some ideas of do's and don'ts when staging your home.
Oh, well, okay, we can do that. Do you like the baskets, or would you prefer artwork? I mean, I want part of it to still kind of show my style
Absolutely.
and how we live, a little cottagey, relaxed.
Which I think is beautiful, and I love that. So, I like the baskets also because they're neutral, and so you could leave those, or if you have some art, the thing is blending in with everything else. But I do, and this is your home, and you have to live in it, and that's what I think makes it difficult sometimes when you're showing. You're still having to show your house, but live in it each and every day. So sometimes people have even gotten a storage unit because they know they're moving anyway, and so they start to downsize, declutter a little bit, putting things away. What are we taking? What are we keeping? But it also opens it up.
So we need to take out a lot.
I think it's just room for discussion.
Just saying, you're
don't
talking
know.
storage unit. I don't know.
It depends on how much stuff maybe one has. And sometimes people may not even have enough because it always, it's a good idea, I think, to stage and show how a room could look, but then sometimes they can't see the room for all the things.
Well, and two, I know a lot of realtors, or there are some groups that just do staging,
Right.
usually have a warehouse or a storage
Yes.
of things that they bring in just to help things along.
Right.
And make that sale happen. And of course, we want to maximize the price.
Yes.
I mean, selling price.
Yes.
After all, you put a lot into your home. You want a real nice return back out of it.
You do. And I have
So-
learned from the best at Portfolio Sotheby's, that's the agency I work for. They are very good at design and photography and moving and rearranging, going into a bathroom even sometimes. What do you need in a bathroom? Not much. Maybe a hand towel and maybe the soap. But
Oh,
just
lotion.
possibly lotion.
Maybe not.
But again, not everybody wants a nice fragrance that you like. So,
Okay.
just minimalizing so people can see the counter space. Same thing maybe with your kitchen, because I love a good air fryer and, a Ninja to make my smoothies. But do I need all that out on the cabinet and counter space when people come to look?
Well, it's those conveniences. I guess we'll just have to take them out when we're going to use them.
And it is probably inconvenient for the seller. But like you said, you're trying to get the best return on your investment.
And so you don't think a big photographer could come in and make this work?
Oh, they could photograph this, all right. But we might not see the space. And again, square footage is very important when you're showing your home. And you want to maximize that as well as stage all of your beautiful things in your family photographs and all things for your animals and your pets, as well as it looks like you're prepared for rain. So that's nice.
Yeah, my umbrella. Well, if the dog needs to go out for a walk and it's going to be raining, I have
Right.
to have it handy.
You need it handy.
I don't have an actual entry where I can put an umbrella container.
But you do have some great closet space. I noticed an excellent entry when I first came in, and so some of these things we could just eliminate while we're showing.
Okay. Well, we should be going into a drier time of year anyway.
I think so.
Hopefully.
It's still July. And so it's been nice to have the rain, but maybe the umbrella could be put away just for a little bit.
But it's pretty.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, it's color coordinated.
You know, at Just Pedaling, they sell these across the street here, not far from where you live, and they're such a good price. And it's the kind that when you close it, all the water goes away from you, not all over you.
Oh, so you don't get a shower as you get into your car?
You do not, and they sell those there. So is that where you got yours?
I did not. I got mine at a hospital gift shop.
Oh, well, fun.
Yeah, they're called Inside Out umbrellas,
well,
which truthfully, I love it. But
I do too. It doesn't get water everywhere. And in your living room, I see, where when you come in, that's great, Susan. I love that.
Yes. Golly. Well, I guess we're going to have to make some changes. I know we're going to be taking a little break in a minute or so.
Okay. Maybe let's get a cup of coffee and visit about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I like that. Well, I really appreciate you letting me come into your home today, and it is a beautiful place. I can't wait to list it and showcase your home in all of its square footage.
I see that you just want to
yard.
get your hands into it.
Maybe.
and see what you can do.
Possibly. Me and my friend here will work together on that.
Well, you know, sometimes we get tunnel vision because we are in our home, and the last one we were in for 15 years. So, yeah,
Did you have some
collect a
good
few
vacation
things.
treasures that you brought back as well sometimes?
I try not to. Usually what I do for vacation treasures are artwork.
I love
or, you know,
artwork,
and they
too.
might be just small photos.
Right,
Like when
right.
we went down to Moss Mountain to P. Allen Smith's place. He's an artist, and I got a wonderful little, it was a squash that he had painted.
Oh.
It was really cool.
But it could kind of go in and not just knickknacks,
Right.
possibly. And it is a good treasure from your trip, good memories.
I try to do that. It doesn't always work.
Right.
I mean, I do have some shelves with
We all
stuff.
Right. And it's your home.
Well, and you want to remember those good times that you had.
Right.
Sometimes we go overboard. Is that what you're saying?
I do this as well. My husband and I are just like you. Typically, when we go somewhere, we were recently on vacation, and we brought back one of those beautiful conch shells.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, I don't know exactly where it's going to go because I don't necessarily have a beach theme at my home, but we found it, we loved it, and then it's all polished, and so, you know, liked it. So we did bring that back, but I'm like you. I like to bring art that I can hang, and it goes different places. But I've been known to bring back some really good treasures from vacation and later think, oh, well, I do remember the trip, but I don't know that I love that anymore.
Well, and I agree, because when we went to Jamaica, talk about bringing trinkets back. Oh, my gosh. However, I know my husband still has a cane or two that he got when he was down there.
Oh.
You know, so he has those displayed in his office.
Which that goes in an office as well, or you may need to use it. So, you know, I say buy
do need
whatever.
to use
Right now, you guys may need the cane, but I'm so glad to be here today and see you up and going too. But so yes, I think you have a beautiful home. We definitely, if you're showing and selling, want to showcase your home and not always just our personal treasures.
Okay. And there's a few.
Okay, I like it.
All right. Well, we are going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to create a whole new look.
Sounds good.
And hopefully
like it. Let's see
Stephanie's
what
going
we
to
can
sell
do.
the house.
We hope we sell a house.
Hello, I'm Dave Todd, president of Todd Films. We work alongside Bella Vista Community Television to produce some of the content you see aired here. Have you thought about reaching your customers through a television ad? We have several options for you to consider. They range from coming to our studio here, or going to your place of business, or on location. Once you have your commercial, Bella Vista Community Television has several options for you to consider for airing your commercial. Do you have a live event that you would like to capture on video? We also offer live production packages that may be of interest. Please continue to tune in to Bella Vista Community Television. We hope you are enjoying this program. And now back to the show.
Hi, and welcome back. Well, we have cleared out our space because we're going to put this house on the market. And so now we're going to put it back together in maybe something a little bit less fussy and full.
Right.
So that people can actually see what kind of square footage is here and maybe visualize their own stuff in it.
I think that's perfectly said.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going for, is because they're buying the house for it to be theirs, because you're typically not selling the items in the house.
No.
And so we want them to be able to picture their furniture here. And a lot of people, like, will take a measuring tape or a great laser that you can use with you and just, point it at it. It measures the space. And so let's put some things back together, and then we'll talk about maybe how to measure space. Or I've had some awesome clients that have taught me quite a bit on how they prepare to move their furniture in, and I know you have a lot of tips as well. So
Yes.
what do you think? Like, I like the blanket. I get cold a lot. I like to have one, but do we always want it draped like that, Susan?
Do we want it draped, or do we want to bring in a basket and have it kind of falling over a little bit?
And I do like the basket idea. I think it can accessorize but also be a function. And so, and that way it's easy too, if you have a showing that's fast coming up and you need to rearrange. A basket's a good accessory, I think, but also used for storage. That's done in a nice way. Oh, that looks good.
And where do we want this little?
I guess you could tuck it next to the chair, but it looks like, you've decorated, and maybe not too much.
The other thing, it's been a used basket. The other thing about bringing in wicker or that kind of brown tone creates warmth. The one thing I've been noticing a lot in design, mainly this past season, is all of these people bringing in baskets because it's an inexpensive way to create warmth in your home.
Right.
And with all of these white and gray backgrounds, they're beginning to feel a little cool.
That's true. And I think I love the warmth that you talked about with that, and it adds another little shade of color. A house I've shown recently is all the cool grays and whites, but the doors were more of this lighter brown. The floors brought that in versus everything being so sterile in a way with just the grays and the whites. So that is a nice color.
Okay. Do we want to get some of our our chair is kind of floating out there.
True. How about we pull this in?
Okay.
You tell me when you think it looks
I think
more
we're good.
together. But that way our space, as we're visiting too, it looks good.
I know, and then you always want to step back, visualize.
Right.
And
So it may need.
okay.
And one thing I do like, because I'm also a green person, I love green, but I love, especially right now that we're in the summer, spring, and it's a lot to change constantly. So I like the green, I like the blue, and then the table. So it brings in a little color. And one thing that they talk a lot about, like this window doesn't go up that high, but it has the visualization of a very long, which makes the ceilings look taller.
Right. Well, you want to bring your window treatments up as high as you can for that reason, which, one of those tricks. Most of our house is 8-foot ceilings.
Okay.
So in order to get that nice,
Right.
bigger look,
Sure.
I like to hang my window treatments up a little bit higher.
Right, it just gives it that height and that depth in a way that people are looking for. So that looks good. And I like the baskets because, again, it brings in another texture without having a lot of color.
Yeah.
And
the wall is kind of dark. So having something a little bit lighter color, I think, helps a lot.
I do too. I like that. I noticed that we also have this lamp.
Yes.
And, we are in the studio, and it has a lot of LED lighting.
It does.
But when you go into a home, I've seen, many people, and definitely want to ask you this, what do you think about not overdoing it with lamps, because natural light's wonderful, but what do you think about turning on a few lamps just for that added warmth or little touch?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
I have an area in my kitchen that pretty much, even though it's very bright, needs a lamp on a lot of the time,
Yes.
especially during the winter months.
Right.
So yeah, to flip a light on. Not only that, look how it glows.
I know.
Down below.
I love it. I love that. And I think, like you said, that nice glow. Now, there's a lot of different bulbs, LED, yellows.
Yes.
So how do you know, in a way, which bulb? Because you can come home and all of a sudden it be way too bright. Any suggestions on lighting with light
when
bulbs?
it comes to lighting, since they have taken away our incandescents, or mostly have, in the LEDs, you want to be at, I believe it's a 3,000 Kelvin.
Okay.
And it goes, which is a warm glow, is more of your, I don't want to say yellow, but definitely that warmer cast.
A little softer.
And you get up to 6,000 Kelvin, you'll get that white, blue, really make you look pasty kind
Right.
of light.
Right.
And you want warm glows. Not only that, it makes our skin look better.
Right.
So, if somebody goes into a bathroom and mirrors right there, you definitely want to have a warm cast coming down.
That's a good tip, because there's so many different bulbs right now.
Yes.
And then, there are times that you need everything on, you need to be able to see, but when you're showing your home, if you have natural light, a lot of people have dark curtains, colored curtains, and I don't think anybody should go out and break the bank on redecorating before you're moving. But I think that's what we're talking about today. How can you repurpose some things that you have? What would you say, though? Me personally, I've lived in a home that had this, and at one time I thought it was great. But I had a living room that was a really dark chocolate brown. My kitchen was then a different shade of a green. And then when you went into my dining room, it was a yellow. It was a lot of color.
You had a bowl of gumdrops.
I did have a bowl of gumdrops.
Oh, with some chocolate, obviously.
And some chocolate sprinkled in. So what do you say about those homes that maybe that's the paint now, because it was built in the 90s, early 2000s? What do you recommend?
Well, paint is pretty inexpensive. Most people can do it themselves, or to hire a painter to come in. Now, going over a chocolate, you're probably going to need a couple coats.
Sure.
Either do primer and just a neutral color, because here again, you want to maximize all of that space that you have, or at least make it look. And a dark color can be, not only are they heavy, but they absorb light.
True.
If you get into a dark chocolate or dark navy blue, they're beautiful colors, but they can absorb up to 95% of
All
your
that natural
light.
light that you're trying to
You're trying to
showcase
lighten the
and
house
lighten it up.
and show it.
Okay.
And it's taking the light and just swallowing it up.
Well, that's good to know. One color, and I hope that you have one too, that when we did build our house, and it's been almost 10 years ago, but I still think it's one of my favorites. It's called Accessible Beige. And it has the grayish and kind of the brown tones, but it's light. It is my absolute favorite. I would definitely go back with that again. And then I have a really light, I think it's called, it's a blue, almost looks like a blue robin egg, but very, very pale, in one bathroom. But very light. It has tall ceilings. It gave it a little bit of color, but really the rest of the house is accessible beige. And then with a different trim, which I like a lot. And like you said, it definitely lightens it up, and I haven't gone with just all my favorite colors, because when I'm showcasing my house, people may be like, what happened in here? And I think that's exactly what they thought when they looked at it when I was trying to sell it.
Well, and I have to chuckle because I have worked with many realtors decorating their homes. And the funniest thing is, none of them had a vanilla home.
Right.
They were doing golds and wallpaper. I mean, they were decorating it for them.
Right.
And this is something else that I tell people. If you are always, you need the fine line between decorating your house for resale or for yourself. If you're not decorating for yourself, you never have a home.
Right.
You're
I
just
love that.
visiting
I'm glad
there.
that you're saying that.
So, yeah, you can
still
use
make
these
it
beautiful
yours.
colors.
Right.
And we do have plenty of color. I do have a neutral in some areas, and you know, one of my favorites is stucco. And then I have another Sherwin-Williams, but I can't remember the name of it.
But there's some good neutral colors. Now,
Yeah.
one thing we were talking about on break was pillows.
Yes.
And recently, a friend of mine, we'd both been shopping for pillows. And what we're finding, and yes, there's a lot of deals going on right now online. Several big marketers, sellers, have some deals going on this week and next week. And so if you go on there, what I'm noticing is you're not buying pillows with the insert, you're buying pillow covers. And I like that idea because, one, I can wash it because Gibson, you know, he does get on things, or my husband and I. And then when we have guests, but I could take those pillow covers off, wash them. But I find that I have a closet full of pillows and they take up so much space. So what is your thoughts on kind of accessorizing or decorating maybe with pillows but using pillow covers? Is that what this is?
I have zippers. Yep, there it is.
Okay, perfect.
In all my pillows.
Oh,
So I can take them off. I can put Christmas. I can do fall.
that's great.
I can do spring.
And your closet doesn't look like mine stuffed with pillows.
Correct.
And I love this color, yes.
Isn't that nice?
But you could switch that up, like you said, as it gets more
Very
to fall.
easy.
And then that's easy to store versus
Right.
having pillows.
Well, and
Okay.
it gives it a break. You know.
Right.
Do we want to put a few more things back? We're looking a little bare.
I think so. Here's a couple of things. Now, they go in a little bit with the blue also, but I want to show you, I did get these at Just Pedaling. And I know they're a flower shop in Bella Vista, but they have some nice gift accessories. And one thing that I love about this one too is you don't burn down the house, but you get a really nice glow. I don't know if you're able to see the flicker. I think you can a little bit, but that adds some warmth too. And if you leave home and you think, oh, did I leave that candle on? It's okay.
Yeah.
It has a battery. But these are indoor, outdoor. It's a
Nice.
metal, and it could be used inside. But then if you have like a screened-in porch or a patio or outside, you're going to have dinner. I think that's a nice accessory.
Oh, build on it for a centerpiece or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
At home, what do you have? I'm sure you do, but sometimes I've seen if you have like a big kitchen table, what should people do with that when you walk in? And let's say you have a great nook area or dining room space. Do you declutter, depersonalize, I know, but do you set a table with accessories? How would you go about that?
I usually do a tray with maybe a couple candlesticks.
Okay. So simple.
Very simple. And my buffet has a lamp.
Okay.
It has a couple white pears, and then I usually have a floral that I'll change seasonally on
Okay.
it.
Right.
And it's at least 6 foot. It's
Oh.
decent size.
Right.
So
Well, that's a good idea.
what else can we bring in here to warm it up and make it look like home?
Well, you did have some pictures earlier.
Yeah.
And I liked them because it made it feel homey, but it didn't show pictures of your family. And they were a little bit different sizes. What do you think
Yes.
about those? Now, you move anything. I'm going to grab a couple of more.
Okay. I might put a couple over here and put the lower ones here because these are too close to the heights of the candles.
Okay, good tip.
You know, we want to keep that eye moving. You want that harmony going.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
And then we had a few books, I think.
We did, and I like books.
Yeah.
And one thing, now, I want your opinion on this. So when I take books sometimes, I've seen this on different things, but you're the decorator and designer. Some are up and maybe some are turned to the side. What do you think? If we had more books, would you stack like that?
Yes. As
Okay.
a matter of fact, most of my bookshelves are like that, where I
So-
do have a few standing and then.
So we'll just pretend that maybe we had
Absolutely.
more, but if we were showcasing, it's nice to have them maybe in a few different directions to give it some depth and dimension.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do we want a table and a lamp over there? I have a lamp here. So.
What do you think? Now, let's talk about greenery. Earlier,
Okay.
we overemphasized the greenery, and a lot of
Yes.
places do, and they are dust collectors.
We have less than a minute.
What do you think about any greenery?
Definitely greenery.
Okay.
And it could be, just kind of tucked.
I'll just kind of
Yeah.
pretend right there. Okay.
And then if we bring the table over,
Okay.
put a lamp on it. And then I might consider just doing one more greenery on this table.
All right.
And then I think we've got a nice, clean look.
Okay.
So can I sell my house now?
I think so. I think this really looks nice and showcases your home and your personality without overdoing it.
Okay, good. And hopefully everybody has enjoyed this. We did go a little overboard in the beginning, intentionally, but you can see how nice and still warm, welcoming, easy,
But
weight off
clean.
your shoulders, clean, easier to dust.
Decluttered.
Yes. So hopefully you've enjoyed this show and that you'll follow us and subscribe. And we'll see you next month.